Hello there. There are some people born in this world with a sensitized nervous system. Some of them are naturally more intuitive than others. They feel others' emotions vividly but silently. These really are their stories. Sandy is finding her father increasingly inflexible and wants better communication. And Sandy almost disappeared. Sandy is a life code 211. Okay. And so we also have her dad, who is a life code 9. Okay. And we also have her mum, who is, again, a life code 211. Okay, and I'll explain why. She's got a tape over her mouth, or why it would be perceived as that, as we go into this dilemma.
Welcome to the Sensitive Mind Show.
Your purpose in life as a sensitive is to experience the deeper parts of the mind, to move beyond fear and to manage your energy, no matter the circumstance. I'm going to show you, as a sensitive, how you can maximize your talents and feel comfortable in your own skin. For show notes and to join the conversation, visit heidisawyer.com/mind. What has Sandy told us? My dad gets so stressed, irritated and negating in a negative way with allowing simple flowing conversations or suggestions. Once a decision has been made or a course of action decided, or knows what he's going to happen, any other views or expressions or changes seem to cause confusion and irritation. He had bowel cancer 3 or 4 years ago, and with the colostomy now clear, also has a small abdominal aneurysm, so can understand his fear and lack of control. What's the problem the situation creates? It causes anger, upset, as I feel unable to express myself without causing him stress or pressure over what seems like a normal conversation flow. Feels like a lack of respect and trust that anything I say is just an irritation or annoyance, to want to cause him pressure or frustration. We do get through these, but it leaves a residue with me. So what is the question that she wants me to solve? How can I express myself without causing irritation or stress as both sad? What do we need to be aware of to change? Okay, so Sandy is asking me how to better communicate with her father without distressing him, where he gets into this kind of stress scenario. So we've got 2 life codes 211s, which I know that Sandy hasn't mentioned her mum, but she has actually put it down as a relationship dynamic within this to have a look at. So we will have a little look at as far as that's concerned. And we have a life code 9, which is the dad. And we'll put the dad behind bars, so to speak, because he's got some frustration thing going on how he's able to communicate. So he's a life code 9. 211s are quite often a lot more expressive. So they're more likely to say how it is, what it is. Okay. And a life code 9 within that scenario, because they reflect the unconscious, quite often like to keep things quiet or secret, especially if they're unaware 9, because they're afraid of their deeper sense of who they are, whereas a 211 is more inclined to call them out on it, or to just call things out just generally in life as far as that dynamic is concerned. Why? Not intentionally, they just do. Okay, so it can cause a level of frustration to someone who doesn't want anything to be highlighted or drawn out. So I suspect that Dad is actually really quite frightened. Okay, so I suspect that that's what it is. And so anything outside of what he can hold within this framework of what he thinks he wants is unsettling or some he doesn't want to know. So let's have a look, and I think we'll look to see what the dad is up to first, over and above anybody else. Okay, so I'm thinking of the dad. Let's see if I'm right, if he is fearful. Okay, we've got the destroyer. Interesting. So, actually, I would say, if we've got the destroyer, he's not actually fearful. He's just downright unpleasant as far as this scenario is concerned. It is demeaning, and it will be something to do with just the way as his chosen format of communication. And this won't, if we have this destroyer here, it's not new. This isn't new. Okay, it's now showing in this kind of irritation behaviour. Okay, he's had cancer, and he's okay, and all of that kind of stuff. It's okay at the moment, but actually he is knowingly disruptive if he's got this destroyer here. So he knows that how he behaves towards his daughter is actually causing stress. Okay, so let's have a look as far as Sandy is concerned. And let's see what she's up to as far as that's concerned. So I suspect that with that there, then she's had to be, someone who's always putting his thoughts over and above her own for forever. I doubt whether this is new. So let's have a little look and see what we come up with. Okay. Oh, gosh, we've got the servant. Interesting. So he expects to be waited on hand and foot, and that actually that I don't like to say this, but this is how this is showing, is, I've had a child, therefore you have to serve me, and do as you're told. Why do we have children in life? Well, they're there to serve us when we get older. So, if you won't serve me, I can get cantankerous. You have to just listen to what I want. I have no interest in listening to you because you're the servant. I know that sounds dreadful, absolutely horrific, but actually that's the undertone of this 9 frequency and 9 vibration as to what's going on. So let's have a look and see, because we've got the mother with the tape over her mouth, as in it's silent within here, but let's see how if that's been fed during this man's life at all. Let's have a look and see what's there, okay, as far as the mother is concerned. Okay, let's have a look. Oh gosh, couldn't make this up if I tried. We've got the mediator. Okay, so the mother is literally that with the tape over her mouth. Is the kind of placator, the mediator, the one in the middle, trying to solve, oh well, quiet and quiet, but it will be everything towards making the father's behaviour, or having a reason or an excuse for the father's behaviour. So, how does she solve this? Actually, the way to solve this would be to call him out on it. Is to actually say to him, look, the way you're speaking to me isn't acceptable. Regardless of what's going on in your life, actually speaking to me like that isn't acceptable. And if you carry on like that, actually, I'm not coming round. And if he then kicks off and all that, just leave him to it, and actually insist on decent lines of communication by actually holding that to a higher standard. Sandy isn't a servant. She isn't, the reason that people have, or the correct reason to have children, has got nothing to do with them serving you later in life. We bring children into this world to learn about ourselves. We bring children into this world to as our contribution to humankind. It's not about we have children in order to, when I get old, get the kids to look after you. No, that's what they're there for. But that's clearly what this man, Psyche, believes whether if he was questioned on that, whether he actually said, oh yeah, I don't believe that, but his psyche believes that. Otherwise it wouldn't be coming out as far as this is concerned really clearly, because this isn't what I was expecting. I wasn't expecting for this destroyer to come out, but that's clearly what this is, especially matched with that servant. So Sandy would do very well to actually call him up on that, and if he continues to be cantankerous, say, well, fine, I'll be round when you're pleasant, and to leave it at that. So let's have a quick look and see if Sandy is able to do that, how or what impact that has on her life. Okay, she might be a bit scared and go, whoa, that feels like I'm standing up, and am I allowed to do that? Surely that's not the right thing. I am supposed to be the servant, because maybe she's been trained to believe that. So let's have a look. If she stands up to him and says, well, hang on a second, it's not nice. No, it's no way to talk to anyone. What benefit that is to Sandy. Let's have a look. Okay, so what this means is, interestingly, is that, and this is we've got the mystic. So, interestingly, this is something that matches very strongly with a life code 211. So I would say, this is specific for a life code 211, and how I'm to explain this. It would mean that if Sandy was able to do that, she'd actually step into herself, step into her own power. It doesn't mean then she's suddenly become a mystic or kind of deeply intuitive as far as life scenarios are concerned. It means that a life code 211 is deep, strongly intuitive. Part of their life path is that they are the most intuitive of all the different life codes. That's the consensus as far as that's concerned, because the 2 energy is the energy that everything filters through. Okay, so everything from the whole self, so everything that's intangible is filtered through the 2 first, and then it passes to the 3 into creation. Okay, so that's why the 2 energy is naturally intuitive. So what this says to me very strongly is, if Sandy is able to do that, she will actually find who she is, what her own strengths are, who she is, what she wants in her life, and her own self-power, as far as she's concerned. If she's able to say, actually, no, it's not okay to speak to me like that, regardless of who you are or whatever your life situation is. So, what can we learn from this? Well, actually, sometimes we think that family members, sometimes we think that family members are, it's family. We can take the, however they speak to us, because they're family, and yet they have some kind of right to be able to do that. Actually, they don't. And everybody has the right to be able to ask to be spoken to in a pleasant and decent way, because I can guarantee that this man does not speak to everybody else like that, or think that they have some kind of ability to be able to do that. So if Sandy's able to step into that, she really will, but looking at this, really will find herself. So that's the end of this episode of the Sensitive Mind Show. If you've enjoyed it and found it helpful, do share it with your friends, and be sure to join me next week, where I'll be looking forward to giving you an alternative perspective on your relationship dilemma. Bye for now, and let me leave you with this. For more great free content designed to support your purchase of my book, Highly Intuitive People, 7 Right Brain Traits to Change the Lives of Intuitive Sensitive People, please visit finallyfeelunderstood.com. There you can subscribe and download for free the meditations specific to today's episode. If you have already read the book, then it's time for you to receive exclusive access and support from me and your fellow intuitive sensitives as we go deeper together along this proven 7-step path by joining us in my monthly membership program called Heidi's Circle. There you can ask me anything in a safe and private environment, and I will answer you live. Join us today by visiting healmyinnerworld.com.